So you run a local business, right? That means you've got one huge challenge online. How do you get seen by the customers who are literally right around the corner? Well, today we're going to break down a guide to the essential tools that'll take your business from being totally invisible to completely unmissable in local searches.
All right, let's just dive right into the core problem here. We're talking about local invisibility. You could be the absolute best plumber. You could have the most amazing coffee in town. But what does it matter if, when a local customer searches online, you just don't exist? You're basically a ghost.
And really, it all comes down to this one simple, but let me tell you, super critical question. Picture it. Someone pulls out their phone, they search for exactly what you do right in your neighborhood. Do you show up? Are you even on the map? If the answer is, I don't know, or even worse, no, then you're invisible to the people who want to give you money. And that is the exact problem local SEO is designed to solve.
Okay, so how do we fix this whole invisibility thing? Well, with a specific set of tools. I want you to think of them as your command center for local search. This software is what helps you get a handle on everything, managing your Google profile, keeping an eye on your rankings, getting more reviews, and really digging into your performance. These are the levers you need to pull to unlock that local visibility.
Okay, before you even think about opening your wallet, listen up. There are two tools from Google that are the foundation of everything. They're totally free, and honestly, they are completely non-negotiable. If you're not using these, it's like building your house on sand. It's just not going to work.
So on one hand, you've got your Google Business Profile. We'll call it GBP. This is your digital storefront, plain and simple. It's what people actually see on Google Maps and in the search results. And then, on the other hand, you have Google Search Console, or GSC. This is more like your behind-the-scenes control panel. It's Google telling you, directly, how it sees your website and what people are typing in to find you.
And I want to be super clear on this point. If you only have time to do one single thing for your local marketing, this is it. Seriously, optimizing your Google Business Profile is the highest impact move you can possibly make. Everything else we talk about today, it's all built on top of this one thing.
So why is it so crucial? Well, it comes down to this one number, 35 to 40%. That's the percentage of all clicks for a local search that go to just the top 3 businesses in the Google Map results. The local pack. Think about that. If you're not in that top 3, you're missing out on a massive chunk of business. That's why getting your GBP dialed in isn't just a good idea, it's non-negotiable.
All right, so you've got the free essentials down pat. Awesome. Now it's time to level up and build out your pro toolkit. And I don't want you to think of these paid tools as just another expense. Think of them as specialized instruments, right? Each one designed for a specific job that you need to do to get ahead of your competition.
We can actually group these jobs into 3 main buckets, which makes it way easier to remember. First, we've got to build your digital footprint using what we call citations. Second, we have to actively manage your reputation through reviews. And third, we need to track what's really happening with your visibility using proper rank tracking. Let's dig into each one.
So, first up, citations. What the heck are they? Well, it's pretty simple. They're just mentions of your business's name, address, and phone number, or NAP for short, on all those online directories like Yelp, TrueLocal, and so on. Now, the key here, and this is crucial, is consistency. It has to be exactly the same everywhere. Why? Because Google's algorithm is looking at all this data, and it needs to see the same info over and over to trust that you are who you say you are and you're located where you say you are.
Now, to get this job done, there are a couple of great tools that have totally different ways of thinking about it. You've got Whitespark, which is kind of like a detective. It does the legwork. It finds out where your competitors are listed, and then you can go get listed in those same places. It's very surgical. Then you have Moz Local, which is more like a broadcast tower. It just pushes your business info out to all the major data aggregators. Think of them as the big data wholesalers that supply info to hundreds of other smaller sites. So one is super precise, the other is all about broad coverage.
And hey, this isn't just my opinion. The expert source for this explainer puts it bluntly. Getting your name, address, and phone number perfectly consistent across, say, 30 to 50 quality websites sends a huge signal to Google. It's one of the best ways to strengthen your local ranking power.
All right, job number 2, reputation management. We all know reviews are important, right? But their impact is actually a 1-2 punch. First, they have a massive influence on your Google rankings, and second, they're often the final deciding factor for a customer choosing between you and the guy down the street with better ratings.
So, what's the smartest way to handle this? It's with something called a smart review funnel, and there are tools like GradeUs that automate the whole thing. Here's the brilliant part. The system automatically asks every single customer for feedback. Now here's the magic.
If they're happy, it sends them straight to Google to leave that glowing review. But, and this is the game changer, if they're unhappy, it funnels them to a private form. This lets you handle the problem internally before it becomes a nasty one-star review for the world to see. It's an absolutely genius way to protect your reputation.
And that brings us to our third and final job, tracking what's really going on. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'll just Google my own business to see where I rank. Nope, it doesn't work that way. The results you see are totally personalized based on your location and history. To get the real picture, you need to see things from your customer's perspective, from the actual places where they're doing the searching.
This is where something called grid-based rank tracking is a lifesaver. Instead of just checking your ranking from one spot, tools like Local Falcon will check it from like dozens of different points all across your city or service area. What you get back is this incredible heat map of your visibility. It shows you bright green spots where you're dominating, and more importantly, those big red spots where you're basically invisible. Now you know exactly which neighborhoods need more of your attention.
Okay, so we've covered what the jobs are and why they matter. Now for the fun part, the really practical stuff. Let's actually build a toolkit that's perfect for your business and your budget.
Let's start with a single location business, like a local cafe or a dentist's office. Here, it's all about being precise. You obviously start with the free Google stuff. Then, you pick and choose. Is your area super competitive? Then your first move should be a rank tracker like Bright Local to see exactly where you stand. Are your reviews kind of meh? Then a review tool like Grade.us is your top priority. Or maybe you're a brand new business. Then getting those first citations built with Whitespark is where you should start. It's all about tackling your biggest weakness first.
Now, if you're a business with multiple locations, the whole game changes. It's not about precision anymore, it's all about scale. Your number one headache is keeping everything consistent across all your branches. That's where you need the bigger platforms. Tools like Yext or Synup become your central command for all your business listings so you can update everything at once. And platforms like Birdeye give you one single dashboard to manage reviews for dozens of locations. For multi-location businesses, the name of the game is efficiency.
And what about marketing agencies? Well, you guys need a toolkit built for juggling lots of different clients. For you, reporting and efficiency are everything. That's why a tool like Bright Local is so popular. It has white label reporting, which just means you can slap your own logo on the reports before you send them to clients. Super professional. Agencies also need more technical tools in their back pocket, like Screaming Frog for doing deep website audits. It's all about having a flexible, professional arsenal that can handle anything from a local plumber to a big law firm. Okay, so you've picked your tools, you're putting in the work. When does the good stuff happen? When do you actually see results? It's a huge question, right? Luckily, the source material gives us a very clear and, importantly, a very realistic answer.
Think of it like this. Local SEO is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. In the first couple of months, you'll see those quick wins right on your Google profile. More phone calls, more people asking for directions. Then, over the next few months, as all those citations and reviews start to kick in, you'll see your actual map rankings start to climb. And then, around the 3 to 6 month mark, that's when it all comes together. That's when you see what really matters, a real, measurable jump in website traffic, leads, and new customers.
And this really brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway of this whole explainer. There's a quote from the source that just says it all perfectly. Tools provide capabilities, but expertise determines outcomes. Think about that. These tools are amazing, they're powerful, but they can't do the work for you. They just give you the information and the power to make changes. It's your strategy, your hard work, and your expertise that actually brings home the results.
So let's wrap this up. The path to getting seen locally is pretty clear, right? You start with those free Google essentials, which are non-negotiable. Then you layer on the right tools for the job, whether it's for citations, reviews, or tracking your rankings. So as we finish up, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Take a good, honest look at what you're doing right now. Are your tools and your strategy just helping you stay afloat, or are they actually built to drive real, measurable growth? Because as we've just seen, having the right toolkit, well, it can make all the difference in the world.